Hello, welcome to day 7 of reading the Bible. I recorded day 6 last night and I was going to upload it, and the video is corrupted somehow. I'm like, look at the dough, he's working hard. So I'm going to just review kind of my findings from yesterday with y'all. So we stopped at Genesis, we were supposed to start Genesis chapter 11. Basically, the whole earth had the same vocabulary. God decides to split everybody up. I look and research into him splitting everybody up, and it was because he told everybody to go forth and multiply and fill the earth. Everyone was grouping together, building a city and making a names for themselves. So the research that I did last night was like, that was a little bit prideful, when they should have been serving God and doing what he said to do multiple times in the Bible, mind you, by this point. Then it goes to the family records of Shem, and then it speaks about, so then I figured out that his family was in Mesopotamia, and at the time, Mesopotamia was very idolatrous, and they were worshiping statues and feeding them and taking care of them and treating them as living deities. So then Haran, one of Shem's descendants, passes away. And the only reason I ended up looking into this is because Genesis chapter 11, verse 29, Abram and Nahor took wives. Abram's wife was named Sarai, and Nahor's wife was named Milcah. She was the daughter of Haran, the father of both Milcah and Iscah. Sarai was unable to conceive. She did not have a child. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, Haran's son, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son Abram's wife, and they set out together from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan. And I was like, why would these small group of people leave where they were? And when I looked it up, Haran had passed away, and it said that because of that event, it caused like a spiritual awakening. And since they were living in the idolatrous Mesopotamia, it was like these people left so that they could like get away from that. And then I had this like, I want to say, use the word revelation. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, because in our lives, when we're trying to do better, sometimes we have to abandon where we are, where we physically are. We have to leave that space to be able to go forth and pursue a better life for ourselves. And I was talking about yesterday, when you are, an addict or addicted to sex, addicted to drugs, addicted to drinking, really the only way to get over that is to leave the space you're in and go to a new place and start over. Because when you are with the same people, the same environment, the same schedule, it's really hard to break out of that. So I'm going to start over Genesis chapter 12. Yesterday, I had this whole long video. It was so great. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like God is really using me and working in me. And I was so excited to post it. I will post because I had like a one longer video and a shorter one. So I'll post the shorter one, but that's a recap basically of everything I went over yesterday. Let's start off. Genesis chapter 12. The Lord said to Abram, go out from your land. This is after they left like the Mesopotamia area and went to Canaan. And remember, Canaan was cursed. Noah cursed Canaan. The Lord said to Abram, go out from your land, your relatives, and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse anyone who treats you with contempt. Amen. And all the peoples on the earth will be blessed through you. So as Abram went, as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him, Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. So originally, when they left Mesopotamia, they were going to Canaan, but they stopped in Haran. So I probably should go back and read the whole verse again, but I just want to keep going forward because while this is for you, it's more for me. I'm doing this for myself, and this byproduct, me making the videos, is just like accountability. All right, y'all can read Genesis chapter 11 yourselves. It's very short. So Abram went, left Haran. Genesis chapter 12, verse 5. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, Abram passed through the land to the site of Shechem at the oak of Moreh. At the time, the Canaanites were in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. From there he moved on to the hill country east of Bethel and pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. He built an altar to the Lord there, and he called on the name of the Lord. Then Abram journeyed by stages to the Negev. There was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to stay there for a while because the famine in the land was severe. When he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, "Look, I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' They will kill me but let you live. Please say you're my sister, so it will go well for me because of you, and my life will be spared on your account." When Abram entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw the woman was very beautiful. Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her to Pharaoh, so the woman was taken to Pharaoh's household. He treated Abram well because of her, and Abram acquired flocks and herds, male and female donkeys, male and female slaves, and camels. But the Lord struck Pharaoh and his household with severe plagues because of Abram's wife Sarai. So Pharaoh sent for Abram and said, "What have you done to me? Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she's my sister so that I took her as my wife? Now here is your wife, take her and go." Then Pharaoh gave his men orders about him, and they sent him away with his wife and all he had. I felt like that was kind of like shady because they kind of ended up stealing from Pharaoh. It's like kind of manipulative. Like, "Oh, I'm going to say this is my sister, but it's really my wife." And then to watch another man take your wife. So kind of like a bitch, you know? I don't know another way to say that. I don't know if I would ever be with a man that would prostitute me like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, why would you even? Oh, because there was a famine in the land. Then we just gonna die together. Because what? I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I don't think I would ever want to see my husband with another woman, even if it meant saving our lives. I feel like the relationship will be broken. All right, Genesis chapter 13. Yes, you know what? In the shorter video, I was gonna post was literally of that chapter, so I'm not gonna post it because I still have the same feelings about it. Like, maybe they wouldn't have killed him. I don't know. Genesis chapter 13. Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev, he, his wife, and all he had, and Lot with him. Abram was very rich in livestock, silver, and gold. He went by stages from the Negev to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where his tent had formerly been, to the site where he had built the altar, and Abram called on the name of the Lord there. Now Lot, who was traveling with Abram, also had flocks, herds, and tents. But the land was unable to support them as long as they stayed together, for they had so many possessions that they could not stay together. And there was quarreling between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. I swear, we as people, we're so combative. They couldn't even live together in peace and harmony. It's like, why can't we just like coexist? At that time, the Canaanites and the Perizzites were living in the land. So Abram said to Lot, please, let's not have quarreling between you and me, or between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, since we are relatives. Isn't the whole land before you? Separate from me. If you go to the left, I will go to the right. If you go to the right, I will go to the left. Lot looked out and saw that the entire plain of the Jordan, as far as Zoar, was well watered everywhere, like the Lord's garden in the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose the entire plain of the Jordan for himself. Then Lot journeyed eastward, and they separated from each other. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, but Lot lived in the cities on the plain and set up his tent near Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were evil, sinning immensely against the Lord. Well, this was the land of Canaan, right? They were already cursed from the Lord. So what are the incentives for these people to try to get back in his good grace, I guess? After Lot had separated from him, the Lord said to Abram, look from the place where you are, look north and south, east and west, for I will give you and your offspring forever all the land that you see. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust of the earth, then your offspring could be counted. Get up and walk around the land through its length and width, for I will give it to you. So Abram moved his tent and went to live near the oaks of Mamre at Hebron, where he built an altar to the Lord. The Lord likes altars. I wonder what an altar is, really. I wonder what an altar looks like. Here, let me sign in. Let me sign in. Lots of sacrifices, lots of altars, lots of burnt offerings too. What does an altar to the Lord look like? In the biblical tradition, an altar to the Lord varied from a simple pile of uncut earth or unhewn stones to the highly ornate gold-covered structures of the tabernacle and temple. According to the biblical descriptions, prominent altars included several distinct characteristics. Altar of burnt offering, located in the courtyard. This large structure was a hollow box made of acacia wood overlaid with bronze. It featured a bronze grating and 4 prominent horns at each corner, which were used to bind sacrificial animals and apply blood for atonement. God, that sounds kind of demonic. Am I crazy? That sounds so dark. The altar of incense, located inside the holy place. This was a smaller, elevated table-like structure made of acacia wood and overlaid with pure gold, also featuring 4 golden horns. I'm like, isn't the horn stuff kind of devilish? Patriarchal altars. Before the law of Moses, figures like Noah, Abraham, and Jacob built altars out of whatever natural, unworked stone or earth was available in the landscape. Interesante. Genesis chapter 14. Let's see how long this is. I might stop here and let's pick up tomorrow with Genesis chapter 14. This has been your word of the day. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, even though it feels like the weekend. Am I crazy?